Hi, thanks for coming back by my channel. Um, Yesterday I was going over some of the top 10 signs where people should know that they're in a cult or loved ones, probably closer to loved ones than regular people. But I think I left off about 4. So I'm going to start back at number 4. And I'm reading this right off the internet so that I don't get it wrong. Um, and it's dead on though. I can guarantee you that. Number 4 was leaving the group is extremely difficult. And that's because you'll be losing friends, family. This is the friends and family in the group, nothing to do with reality. Um, if leaving means losing friends, family, housing, or being threatened with consequences, well, that's the only people that understand you are the people that's in the cult. Uh, that's not a cult. Um, Consequences are going to hell. So pretty dire consequences, really. Um, but number 5 was the group isolates you outside from outside influences uh, to discourage contact with non-members. They call outsiders dangerous or say only the group truly understands you. That's, when you got to pick between the cult leader that's not a cult leader um, and going to hell, that's the choices. She's the only voice that can save you. Uh, they don't want, I kind of touched it in another video. My wife act like she was allergic to TV, act like she couldn't be nowhere near news, couldn't listen to no videos on television. She wasn't too sure if she was even supposed to be watching animal videos. Used to enjoy butterflies and birds and all that stuff, but soon found out that that wasn't, she wasn't supposed to be watching that either. Now jump ahead about another 6 months after she was broke from all that. Then she can watch anything she wants. Didn't bother her no more, as long as it had something to do with anti-Donald Trump or anti-American, anti-Jew. They love. That's like a big old dessert to them. But and so number 5 isolates from everybody from the outside influences. Dead on. Number 6, it's they have a us versus them mentality. The group is portrayed as enlightened, chosen, or superior, while outsiders are seen as ignorant or harmful. Dead on. Every one of them. Dead on. I mean, I could have took this and read it a couple years ago and stopped everything right then. That's how dead on it is. She was checking probably 8 out of 10 boxes way back then, that quick, especially once they told her that they needed her to be in charge of the Bible studies, or I don't know, certain chapters. She had to study and study and study. That's what broke her mentally. Um, Number 7, you're pressured to give money, labor, or loyalty. It says high control groups often demand increasing amounts of resources or devotion. That woman, she, apparently, she was raised with a silver spoon in her mouth, so resources isn't that much. She's more interested in mind control, and she gets it. Trust me. That's how, when you can have regular people quit their job so that they can study more and listen to your videos more and meet more. They used to meet every single day for hours. They throwed her out of that meeting though. But I think that was just priming her so she'd want in worse, which is exactly what's happening. Number 8, the group uses guilt, fear, or shame to control behavior. You may feel like you're never good enough, always failing, or constantly needing to prove your loyalty. Dead on again, man. Every single day. That's what I live. I look back on it and I think, man, why? Why? And I even feel more sorry for the kids now. How, when I was there, where I put my foot down was when she tried to push it onto everybody else. What she wanted to think for herself or do for herself, that was fine. But that was it. That's where it stopped. All the end, when it came, is when she thought she was going to control everything else. That's what couldn't happen. Uh, the guilt and the shame. If she don't, if you know the secret, if a woman is telling you the secret, God's secrets, and you know exactly when time's going to end, and you know exactly what time we're in, how could you ignore it? I've seen her crying because she was so mentally disturbed that she honestly thought that the time was up. That you talked your husband and your kids and your mom into believing exactly what you believe and praise this woman in obedience and go to heaven, or they had a certain day that everybody's time was up, and that's what she thought. She waited for this lady to die, I don't know how many times, and it's not. Trust me, everybody in that house has waited for that woman to die, and it's never happened. She got another death day coming up soon. I think she's starting to not pick the days and just pick an era or a timeline, because she's failed at it several times now. Always blames it on the same thing. Man's translation was wrong, and she figured out the new translation. That's how she's got the new time. But then on the backside of things, she says it's God giving her all of her information, not man. It is what it is. Um, Number 9, your identity becomes tied to the group. You start defining yourself mainly by your membership, not your own interests or personalities. That's dead on too. When she was doing their little Bible teaching, mind bending stuff, is what it was. Uh, she was happy. She was wore out and tired, but she was happy because she thought she was going to heaven. And she thought she was talking to other people into going to heaven. But time came and gone. So luckily she gets another try. She's probably doing it again right now. Um, Number 10, the group only claims to have, or the group claims to have the only truth. Dead on. The woman is the only one that knows. God tells her secretly at nighttime in her dreams. She wakes up and writes it down. Sometimes she asks him forever and ever before he'll answer, but he always answers her. That's where she gets her information. But every time she's wrong, she blames it on man's translation. The Catholics, especially, they it's their translation, how they mistranslated words. Uh, Everybody in the group gets them a little Hebrew Bible so they can do their own translation, or a Hebrew dictionary so they can do their translations of certain holy words. The Jews don't know them, but these people do. And I used to be, I seen her as separate from them. I seen her as kind of like, I guess people would see a drug addict is not their fault. It's not their fault. No, it's her fault. It's each one of their faults. Everything they do is their fault. They've seen there is no time ending. This woman has no secrets. They're suckers, and they give and give until they don't have anything to give. They give their time. They give their mental stability gone. I've heard other people in the groups talking. I've overheard my wife when she used to she was allowed to be in their little cult secret meetings. So I heard a lot of those that was going on. Same thing, made up. All of it's made up. But yeah, after this, um, number 10, the group claims to have the only truth. They say they alone have the answer, spiritual, political, personal, or otherwise. That's a classic sign of high control, which they probably get the information from Jim Jones and a lot of the other weirdos out there, mainly from California. Sorry if anybody's from California. But that does seem to be where a lot of it comes. Well, about 80% of it comes from. The lady says she was raised in a Mormon religion, so she had a rough start, I guess, from the beginning. Um, can't stand her dad. Her husband apparently left her. She wound up in a mental institution. That's when she started hearing from God. Not the first time, but one of the last times. Uh, I notice she says that kind of stuff, but nobody else notices it. Well, anyways, I wanted to go over those top 10. I might do another top 10 because I'm telling you, there's at some point in time, this will help somebody. It'll be worth it. Uh, there's people that know her, people in this little town that know both of us. Most of them's happy that I'm not there no more. They was worried that I might have had something to do with it. So you gotta tell them all, man. There were boundaries. I told her don't be crossing. There's people in this town that know me, and there's people in this town that know her. I told her do not push that on any of my people in this town. But it is what it is, guys. I'm gonna try to put another one out. I tried some of those shorts. I'm gonna try to do one short on each sign. See how that works. But like and subscribe if you will. I'd appreciate it. It'd help me. I'll see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.